Hi guys, welcome down to Carter's Golf. Welcome, my name is Andy Carter and today we're continuing the series on wedges. Now if you looked into the last episode, so to speak, is it an episode? Yeah, it's an episode. We did a skills challenge and the idea was for you to be able to go out into a practice session, do a real good block practice first, understanding different distances and different swings, using different types of clubs if you wanted to, but then ending your practice session on a skills challenge. Skills challenges will really put you in the mindset of being on the golf course. Now the difference with this skills challenge that I gave you is that we're hitting 5 shots to a flag, but every single shot counts towards your score, which then gives you a handicap for that particular distance, which personally I think is absolutely awesome because you can't just have a couple of nice feely ones before you finish on 3 good ones and think you did well. Every single shot counts. Now what I would do before we get onto a skills challenge, we're going to be looking at block practice. And just behind me now we've got 10 balls lined up. This is just a bit of an example really, because normally I would like to see you probably do 20 balls from each distance. I've got 10 balls from this distance. I've got a 58 degree and a 54 degree. And again, what I would like you to be guys to be doing will be hitting 10 shots with one club, 10 with another. Learning and understanding how the ball flight differs between the 2 shots, how the swing feels like it differs, but we're keeping the similar technique. So technique is what we're going to start with, and then from there, we're going to be talking about the length of swing. To start with, like I say, I've got a 54 and a 58. I'm going to start with my trusty 58. Now, definitely a club for me that I overuse, I over rely on, and that is definitely because I don't practice enough. I hit a few 58s and this is the club I'm comfortable at looking down on, and I'm comfortable with my distance control, or at least I think I am. When I come down to practice though, I do use a lot more of the 54 degree because it's a club that I want to start to incorporate. I also want to start incorporating my 50 degree as well for that slightly longer shot across the green where it can just release a little bit longer. But for today, we're going to be going up to the green flag. I've got 10 balls here. I've got 5 with a 58, 5 with a 54. Now, to talk you through my setup fundamentals for this particular shot, I've got plenty of green to work with. I've got soft premium golf balls and the greens are relatively receptive. Okay, so what I need to be doing is hitting a good strike. I need to hit down on the ball to create backspin, and I need the natural loft of the club to hit the ball up into the air. One thing I do not want to be doing is trying to get under the ball, trying to use my wrist too much, trying to stay very static and too simplified. Okay, so in terms of setup fundamentals, what you're going to be seeing from me is the ball in the middle of my stance. My feet, if I go parallel to target, are going to be slightly open, maybe looking at around about 5 degrees open. That also is going to open my hips up. The reason I do that is to encourage my lower body to follow the club and the shoulders as I go through the shot. Okay, really important that the body all moves together. And I probably think this is the only shot where your hips and shoulders can move together. On a driver, we want them working against each other, or with an iron, we want them working against each other for maximum distance. On a putter, we don't want the lower body moving at all. But with this club, we're going to get the hips and the shoulders moving on a very similar angle. In terms of wrist hinge, when I've taken my setup, ball positions in the middle of my stance, my hands are in line with the left thigh. As my hands are in line with the left thigh, you'll see a slight angle already between my left arm and club. Now I'm going to try and maintain that one, and the chances are the angle will get slightly steeper as well, so we'll get a little bit more wrist hinge. As I get the club around approximately parallel to the ground, or very close, club head will be slightly higher than my hands. Okay, so that's encouraging a slightly steepened angle of attack. So we never want the club to go around the body, because you can see the club head stays very, very low, and this will encourage fat shots or thin shots. We're going to encourage the club head to work upwards. So a slight wrist hinge during the swing is massively important to encourage the club to then hit down on the ball. Like I say, backswing rotation of hips and shoulders, absolutely vital for this shot. From there, we want to strike it and we want to get the distance control. So I got 5 shots with the 58. I'm going to take one practice swing between each shot. You can see the ball, I can land it quite close, I can be quite aggressive. With a good strike, it's going to stop. It's not going to roll out that much unless I miss-hit it. That was a slight miss-hit. Beauty about that one is a slight miss-hit. It's landed shorter, and because I miss-hit it, it's released out. That's the good thing. So when you do have, if you've got a good technique but you miss-hit it, you'll find that a slightly thin shot will fly further but have a little bit of check. A slightly heavy shot will land short, but because it was heavy, it's going to roll out more. So good technique can also produce good bad shots. Pretty good. Again, I think the first strike was the best, but the last two have produced good shots as well. It's the outcome that I'm really bothered about. That's a good shot. Go! Just landed it a little bit short, but a really nice strike. Okay, last one with the 58. That was a terrible shot. A little bit of a deceleration on that, so I always try and keep my tempo really slow. So as I come into the ball, I don't want to accelerate, I don't want the ball speed to be too fast. I try and keep the downswing quite slow. On that particular one, cross between lazy and just rubbish, to be honest. Just before this video, I've done a little bit of practice with my 54 degree, and I've got to be honest, it felt so good to be using it. So I'm hopeful that these next 5 shots are going to be good as well. So I'm going to be keeping the same technique, same principles in my setup, but naturally I won't need to swing as far because I've got 4 degrees less loft, which means the ball will come out a little bit faster. So a little bit lower, loads of check, and into a good shot. Check. Little bit skinnier, not quite as good a strike, so it just released a little bit more. So these are your block practice sessions. You do these before you go on to any skills test. Not bad. A little bit aggressive. Good strike. Same again, a bit hard. Not bad though, good strike. Stop quick. Good shot. Spin. Yeah, that's a good shot. Okay, so overall, relatively happy with the outcome of the shots. I hit a couple on the 58 in particular where the shots 2 and 3 weren't great strikes, but they ended up being really good results. The last one of the 58 was pretty awful, to be honest. 54, going into adapting between clubs, started to overhit it a little bit on a couple of shots, but then found my range again towards the end. But you could definitely see there was a slight difference in my length of swing, and there was a definite difference in ball flight. So from there I can learn straight away that my 54 will come out lower, but if I strike it as good as I can strike it there, it's going to stop quite quick. 58 is going to come out higher with a good ball strike. It's almost going to stop dead. So you can start to then think about different types of shot selection and club selection. If you're practicing with both, you're then giving yourself much more of a variety when you're out on the golf course, and certainly a lot more confidence as well. From here, this is where I would start to work out 10 more yards with both clubs and 10 more balls, out 10 more yards again with 10 more balls and 10 more yards as well, because that way starting to really gain a feel for the difference in distances. When I then come towards the end of the session, I'm going to finish on that skills challenge we did last week and see how well we can do from there. Each practice session, you go from a different area, maybe go from rough, maybe go from behind of a bunker, put yourself in different scenarios, so that way you can, every single time it's a varied practice session, and then you're more likely to get one of these shots on the golf course as well. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Lots more to come on wedges in particular, utilising this incredible practice facility that we've got down here at the European Tour Performance Institute. But from me, please do subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed it. Also share it over on your Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. That would be a great help to broadcast the video as best we possibly can as well. Guys, thanks for watching. See you soon.